Friday, the government unveiled federal terrorism charges against two animal rights activists accused of helping to free minks and foxes from fur farms in rural Illinois. In newly unsealed indictments, the government accuses Tyler Lang and Kevin Oliff of freeing about 2,000 minks from their cages on a fur farm and then removing parts of the fence surrounding the property so the mink could escape. The activists are also accused of spray painting "Liberation is Love" on the farm's walls. Now a grand jury has indicted them under the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act. Each count they face carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
One of the activists is already in jail. Last year, Kevin Oliff, who also goes by Kevin Johnson, was sentenced to 30 months for possessing burglary tools. After police pulled over and searched the car he and Lang were driving and found bolt cutters and wire cutters. We asked the U.S. Attorney's Office handling the case to join us. They declined, saying they don't do interviews on pending cases once the charges have been announced. For more, we're joined from Washington, D.C. by reporter Will Potter, who's been following the case closely. Just got back from Los Angeles, where the charges were unsealed in court on Friday. He covers animal rights and environmental movements at greenisthenewred.com. His book is called Green is the New Red, an insider's account of a social movement under siege. He's also got a Kickstarter campaign underway right now to purchase a drone and use it to photograph abuses at factory farms. Will Potter, welcome back to Democracy Now! Explain what these two young men have been charged with.
Thanks, Amy. Kevin and Tyler have been charged with 2 counts each of violating a law called the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act. And this was a law that was passed in 2006 and lobbied for heavily by people like the fur industry and also the meat and dairy industry and pharmaceutical and biotech companies. And what it does is it turns existing crimes like vandalism or theft of releasing animals, things like that, and elevates it into a terrorism offense. And because of that, they're each facing up to 10 years in prison right now.
And Will Potter, the context here, in addition to the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act, there's also this series of ag-gag laws passed statewide across the country.
So the rhetoric from these industries and corporations for a long time now is that these new terrorism powers are needed for radical underground groups like the Animal Liberation Front. In other words, in theory, actions like the ones that are alleged in this case that were indicted just last week. But over the last few years, what I've been documenting is this radical expansion of those terrorism powers to even things like photography and undercover video investigations. And right now, these ag-gag bills are attempts to criminalize journalism and whistleblowers in multiple states and make it illegal to photograph animal abuse.